And welcome back. Russian President Vladimir Putin says he is ready to go scorched earth on Ukraine, even scorchier, because he claims peace talks have basically reached a dead end. He's insane. Watch.
Such an incoherence on major issues creates known problems to achieve final agreements acceptable for everyone on the negotiating track. The operation will continue until its full completion and the fulfillment of the tasks that have been set.
The special military operation. He is such a bastard. But as Ukrainians brace for a major Russian assault in the east, Big Bad Vlad says his military operation isn't evil, it's noble.
We don't intend to be isolated. It is impossible to severely isolate anyone in the modern world, especially such a vast country as Russia. Special military operation in Ukraine's goals are absolutely clear, and they are noble.
They are noble. We're denazifying the place. Yes, Ukrainian old ladies are telling Russian soldiers, we will eat your balls for breakfast. They're not backing down. Tens of thousands of civilians have already died. Millions are displaced. Is Vladimir Putin losing it, or is he crazy like a fox? Let's get into it with tonight's panel. We've got Washington Examiner senior political correspondent and columnist, and American Enterprise Institute resident fellow Tim Carney is back. We've also got former State Department deputy spokesperson. She is a Fox News contributor. She is Marie Harf. Yeah, girl. And Georgia Libertarian governor candidate. The race is heating up, and he's ready to take it on. Also, former U.S. Marine Corps Sergeant Shane Hazel is back. Welcome back, everyone.
Good to see you, Kennedy.
Thank you. It's great to be seen. So this is very interesting. Vladimir Putin says what he is doing is noble. He's done with peace talks. Is any of this surprising to you, Tim?
No, he's a bad guy. The part that surprised me was that he took the war to the rest of Ukraine. Remember, he got Crimea for basically free in 2014.
Yeah.
And so my assumption going in was that he was going to invade and try to take eastern Ukraine, where there's a lot of ethnic Russians, and sort of say, oh, well, the language they use is that we are liberating the Donbass region, those two oblasts or regions over there in eastern Ukraine. But then he went ahead and he did all the crazy stuff, going after Kiev, going after western Ukraine. So I'm afraid that he just thinks that he can grind it out, keep destroying cities in eastern Ukraine, and then eventually have enough military control to control from Russia to Crimea along this coast of the Black Sea. That might not be easy for Ukraine to stop.
But will they keep trying, Marie?
Will the Russians keep trying?
No, will the Ukrainians keep trying to thwart these advances?
Yes. Look, I think the Ukrainians have fought much better than anyone, certainly than Vladimir Putin imagined they would. And it is clear that Putin cannot win this. He cannot take over Ukraine. He cannot force Zelensky to flee. Those are things he thought he could do, 6 weeks ago. And so the question is whether there's a path through negotiation where we can stop some of the bloodshed. Look, Putin has made clear he is going scorched earth. The genocide we are seeing, the war crimes we are seeing, Putin is making this incredibly painful for the Ukrainians, but he can't take over the country. And so I think Zelensky's trying to figure out right now, Kennedy, if he can negotiate an end to this bloodshed, because he will keep grinding it out, day in and day out with the Russians. And look, Putin getting rid of all of his intel guys, he's purging. He knows he's in trouble. But that's a worrying place for such a crazy person to be in, Kennedy.
All right, so he's appealed to the South Koreans, Shane. He's appealed to the Canadians, obviously, to the joint session of Congress, to the Americans. Has he done enough to appeal to European countries?
I think Zelensky is trying very hard right now to have people come in, but he's also saying that I'm done with NATO. So you've got a very interesting situation arriving down in Ukraine right now. You have a Russian army that's been dealt over 40,000 combat deaths, and that's a remarkable number. I mean, you're talking about 4 regiments worth of soldiers that have been killed, and for Zelensky not to really talk to NATO or not want their help anymore, or say it's slow and bureaucratic, you're starting to see, I think the tide turn in Ukraine to where Russia's pulled back. They've started down in the Donbas region, and with that not going well for Russia, you might actually see a very, very dangerous Vladimir Putin here in the very near future.
So is there a correlation here between him bailing out of peace talks and more people in the United States, including our president and national security advisor, calling him a war criminal? And is that the smartest move for the U.S., regardless of what people believe, Shane?
It's really hard, and I think this is where the U.S. kind of finds himself in a pickle in terms of a country and a power around the world. We've done so many things. Barack Obama was on record earlier today calling, for war crimes against this man, and it's a little hollow coming from a guy that dropped 27,000 bombs over 7 countries in the Middle East during his 8 years. So, politically and I guess morally, the U.S. government is absolutely bankrupt when it calls for war crimes around the world. It's not a good situation. This is war, and I think this is what people need to see. People need to understand that no matter what happens, the less death, the less escalation we can push forward, the better off everybody in the situation is going to be. The people in Ukraine need to be armed. They need to fight, and they need to push back, and they need to probably consider the people in the Donbas region, what they want to do. Nobody's asking that. The Russians want it. The Ukrainians want it. Is anybody asking what those people want in that region? And I think that's really the key here.
It's like me with my suitors. No one's like, Kennedalia, what do you want? I want a party. All right, party panel, thank you so much, Tim, Marie, and Shane. Well done, everybody.